Okay, so it took me a long time to get comfortable masking up with gloves on. Old habits die hard. I masked up without gloves on for 13 years, and was pretty quick doing it. And when it really changed for me was when I came to the truck. I started riding outside vent. I like getting off the rig with my gloves on, so I can throw ladders, pull window bars. I'm getting off the rig and I'm working pretty much right away. I also don't like getting off the rig masked up. Most people at my department don't get off the rig masked up. Part of that is because we have a really strong culture of masking up really quickly, but also you lose a lot of situational awareness. So when you get off the rig with your mask on, it's fogging up, you have that narrow tunnel vision. If you're stretching the line, you're less likely to be able to pay attention to where your avenue to stretch is like the best avenue to the front door to stretch, whether that's over fence gates, whatever. If you're throwing ladders, God forbid, it's the middle of the night, you have a halfway fogged mask and you launch a ladder into a service drop coming off the side of the house or something. If you can mask up quickly with your gloves on, you get off the rig with your gloves on ready to work, you can mask up in 10, 15 seconds with your gloves on. I mean, even if you pull a line and you open the bail to bleed it while they charge it, that's enough time to just mask up real quick. So I'm gonna go through just a few of these steps that really kind of helped me get it. So the first step that really kind of helps set you up for success is taping the straps on your mask. We run the Scott AV3000 masks. I've heard people say, oh, well, when you tape them, you don't get a good seal. I would be the first person to tell you that with my small head, I wear a size small mask, which is kind of unusual. And it's usually pretty challenging for me to do like a fit test. And even with my straps taped, I can still pass a fit test. So there's really no seal issue, but just to demonstrate, you'll see what I do is I tape all but one. And the one that I leave untaped is gonna be the same one that I reach back to pull my hood with. So for me, that's my left hand, okay? So you'll see every other one is taped into the position of tightness that I like it, so I don't need to adjust a bunch of different straps. Some people will tape this one into like sort of a ball so it's easier to find with their glove. I don't need to do that, I just kind of leave it out. But you'll see, even with them partially taped, when I throw it on, that's a great seal. There's no seal issue, and that's just with pulling one strap. So when I pull it off, I'll keep it still long enough that I can find it with a gloved hand, and then I'll pre-connect it to my regulator. The next one that really helps is the right gloves. I realize not every department allows you to buy your own gloves. So if you can find a size small gloves, if you have smaller hands, and that's super beneficial. I find that these Vanguard Safety Mark 1 Ultras, this is like my 4th pair of these gloves. I've been buying them basically since they came out on the market. They're not super expensive, they're like 80 bucks a pair or something like that. And they have these nice rounded fingertips, so I have really good dexterity, which is super helpful when it comes to masking up because I can manipulate things like the strap on my mask, my chin strap, and then my hood, which is the part that most people get hung up with. So, and then last but not least is, I already mentioned it, but the chin strap itself. So having an extra long chin strap is helpful. Some of the helmet manufacturers have a long enough chin strap, some of them don't. But getting an aftermarket chin strap that's long, and the leather ones are really nice because the helmet doesn't twist around as much. You want it long enough that you can fit your face piece through your chin strap easily. That's like sort of a pretty important part of this process. Some people like to do the helmet over the back of the head. I think if you're under like 5'7", then it doesn't really work that well. I'm 5'6", and I find that it gets hung up on the back of my bottle, which already sits kind of high on my back. So I like the purse method. So the regulator and mask in your left hand needs to be able to go through the chin strap, or like that, and sit on your elbow. That's like a critical thing. So if you can already do that with your regular brand strap, then that's fine. But again, spending like the $20 or so on a nice leather one, it's worth its weight in gold, and this will last you a career. So, okay, so We're just gonna walk real quickly through the steps, kind of step by step, and then I'll show you a full speed one, and then maybe I'll incorporate it into like a bit of like a scenario to kind of show you why I'm gonna do it this way. So a few things to set yourself up for success before you even leave the station. When you bunk up, get in the habit of pulling your hood up and then putting your coat on and then putting your hood back down, because if your hood ends up underneath your collar, you're probably gonna mess this up. And then before you do this, because it requires you going on air immediately, make sure that your bottle's on before you start. So if you try to start this and your bottle's not on yet, you're just gonna suck that mask to your face. All right, so first step, we're gonna take our left hand. So if you do it with the wrong hand, it's gonna mess everything up. So just remember, your regulator, your mask comes off your left side, left for life. Left hand is gonna be the one I grab my mask with. Get in the habit of finding this and then running your hand down to it. We're gonna palm our regulator, okay? I don't wanna be looking, because if I'm gonna do a VES or something, I'm masking up not taking my eyes off that window in case a hand comes to the window or something like that. So I'm gonna find my my hose, run it down, palm my regulator. You'll notice how I kind of split my, my valve right here, my valve button, between my two fingers like a peace sign. I'm gonna bring this up to my face, and then with my right hand, my helmet, it's gonna pull the chin strap down and around the mask until it's sort of hanging in the crook of my elbow, like this, all right? We're gonna take our thumbs, we're gonna close our mask on, press it to our face, and pull. Notice I did all that with my left hand. This is my seal check. If it's not leaking air, then it's fine. So our mask is on, now we gotta get our hood, all right? I'm gonna pinch up with my right hand on the fabric, and my left hand, my thumb, is gonna kind of run back and try to find the elastic opening, the hole. Once I find that, both thumbs will then run the outside of my mask, and then I switch to my index finger to get the bottom. So I'm gonna pinch up, thumb in, notice I found the hole, run that around. And then if this is too far forward, we just pull it back a little bit before we put our helmet on, okay? All right, so now our hood is on, we just gotta get our helmet on. We're just gonna pull that chin strap back around, get it seated around our mask, and that's why I like this extra long chin strap. It's easy to find, I can pull it tight, and now we're ready to work. If you look and see, I have good contact all the way around, no exposed skin. I have a great seal. No airflow when I do that, and I'm ready to work. Show you here, this is what that pinching looks like, okay? So I'm gonna pinch it up with my right hand. My left hand, thumb goes in, finds the hole of the elastic. My other thumb meets that thumb, and it's gonna go out, and I switch to my index finger and around, okay? So, pinch, thumbs, around. That's the hardest part. That's the part that jams most people up.